This is how you can improve your comprehension, your listening comprehension in the language that you're learning. You come to the vocabulary builder section and you learn this: A1, A2, B1, B2, and the most common adjectives, adverbs, and verbs in this order. All right. Basically, you do one of these blocks a day, maybe two if you want to go faster and you've got the time. You come here, you play the audio, and you read while listening with the meaning on, right? You read while listening from start to finish. And then you do it again and again and again. And once you think you know them relatively well, you try without the meaning on. And you check every time you are not sure of the meaning, or simply you don't have a clue what you're listening to or you're reading. And you keep checking like this, or you play the audio.
Ja sam ovdje. Ti si ovdje. Umoran sam. Spreman sam. Ovo je dobro.
And you go through the whole list over and over, like five to 10 times per list. I recommend 10, probably better in the beginning. And then you jump to the next list. That's it. You don't have to know one perfectly to jump to the next list, because comprehension is not like speaking. You don't need to know a lot. Okay, for speaking, you need to know a few very useful sentences really well, so you can use them automatically. For comprehension, you need to know a lot of stuff. I mean, ideally really well, but before that, you need to know them somewhat, right? So it's better to get exposed to more vocab than just focus on the same one over and over and spend like a month per part. Don't do that, all right? So a day per block, and then you move on, or maybe two blocks a day. And the previous ones, you just listen to them on your phone while you are driving or you're working out or doing something like that, and you'll understand them relatively well. Again, if you already read and listened to them and you tested your knowledge several times, and you are kind of, you've got the reps already with the list. And that's basically it. You do it with these four blocks, and then you jump straight to these four blocks. Do not spend a month with A1 and then another 2 months with A2. No, just a day per block, like doing lots of reps with that specific block. Review the previous ones, mostly by listening in the background, and then just keep moving on. Right? This is just a way to structure it. There's no huge gap from this block to this block or this block to this block. Just keep going. All right. This can be useful, the conjugations, but you probably learn them anyway by doing this, right? So A1, 4 blocks, A2, 4 blocks, B1, B2. Go straight to the end of B2, and then just keep reviewing. You do not need to do active recall here, right? Ja sam ovdje. Okay. That's for speaking. And eventually, it's nice to do, to be able to use all these sentences in speaking. But if the goal is comprehension in the beginning, you don't need to do this. You don't need to actively be able to use all these sentences. You just need to be able to understand them, right? A lot of it you won't need in conversation. You just need to know them well enough to understand them when you hear them, because the goal is to be able to understand native speakers. So A1 to B2, and then also, if you want to understand native speaker content, this lists here 300 most common adjectives, adverbs, and verbs. These will be very useful, not for conversation again, because a lot of this is not stuff that some people might use these sentences or this vocab, but you won't immediately need it for normal conversations. But for understanding more advanced content or native speaker content, you will need to know this. So again, same thing. Once you know A1 to B2 really well, there's three lists: lots of reps, reading while listening, then just listening until you know them really well. And eventually, you want to start listening to native speaker content. Yeah. So my advice is to start with repetitions only, like until you understand these really well. A1 to B2. Again, this doesn't mean you've got B2 level in the language, knowing this. This is just a way to structure the sentences, right? I didn't say that you'll be at a B2 level just by doing this. Although you will be if you keep doing all the exercises. So A1 to B2, learn them really well. You can listen to them, you can understand them easily, no effort. Then jump to this. And once you jump to this, then I'd recommend you start introducing native speaker content. Find podcasts or something that's interesting, long form ideally. Otherwise, you have to be switching videos, and that is a massive waste of time and it's distracting and not good. So find long form podcasts. And I recommend you start with 80-20. So 80% reviewing the vocab, 20% listening to native speaker content. And gradually switch to 50-50 and eventually like 80-20 the other way around, mostly native speaker content, right? But at first, learning more vocab is much more important than native speaker content because it'll be very difficult in the beginning. So my advice is to get lots of reps with this, lots of reviewing, and then every now and again, test yourself, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of native speaker content, and get back to this because it'll be very difficult. And then you do more reps with vocab, and then you try native speaker content again. And you start doing more and more, like longer and longer sessions of native speaker content, and you'll understand more and more. Like the easier it gets, the more you'll be able to do. I mean, you can play it in the background all day, but it won't do anything for your comprehension if you don't understand it. All right, so lots of reps with vocab, learn more vocab, learn it in sentences by listening, and gradually introduce more and more interesting native speaker content by native speakers for native speakers. None of that like learn with comprehensible input stuff.